Just had a lady receive a machine from me, and she's having a problem with the stitch length knob here. So I wanted to go over how to check features and functions on a 630 and a 640. For the demonstration here, I have a 640, so that's what I need to use. Let's get right into it. And again, this is for checking any buttons or sensors that you might think that you have a problem with. So what we need to do with this machine is we need to put it in the service mode. And with the machine turned off, we hold in the reversing button, turn on the machine, keep the reversing button held in, and while the machine's booting up, I will say don't push any symbols or buttons here that I don't show you to touch in the video, because you could mess with a setting here. What we're going to do for this one is to, I've shown other videos where you press the information here and you can check how many hours by touching the clock symbol. You can see how many hours are on your machine. I have that in one video. What we're going to do here is we're going to want to check the buttons and the knobs. So let's start out here with the signals and sensors, and we're going to check these knobs to see what we have. And this is what I do when I test the machines, is you go into this screen here, and by turning the top knob here, you can see the bar moving up and down, and that shows you that that knob is working. Same with the stitch length knob. That bar will go up and down. And we escape. The next one is your buttons. So that's your width there, and you just go through all the buttons. They're on here. Start button, thread cutting button, reversing button. As long as that lights up green and flashes when you push the button, everything's good. And your speed control, slide your speed control, and you can see that on the screen that it's functioning as it should. Next, our foot control. I have the foot control hooked up to the machine. Push down on it, and again you can see that that's working properly. And when you push back on your speed control for your needle up, needle down, pushing back will light that up. So that's a way that you can tell if there's a problem with your foot control, because if you push down on it and that bar doesn't go up, you got a problem. Okay, now we have needle threader. So here, just pushing down on the needle threader a little bit, there's a sensor on everything in these machines. You can see it turn green every time I push that down. That means that's fine. Next is going to be, this is your tension, your spring tension downward on your foot. So you're turning this knob here on this machine. Some other machines might be slightly different, but by turning that knob, we can see that the setting has changed. This was on 37, so I'll put it right back. So that sensor is fine. Foot up, foot down by moving the presser foot lever. We're good there. Bobbin winder, just simply turn the bobbin winder. That's to see if the bobbin winder switch is functioning as it should. We're good there. Next is going to be your feed dog drop button here on the side. There it is. Push it in, turns green. That micro switch sensor is working. Now this is going to be for on the 640 model. The 630 doesn't have this and won't have this test, but this is for checking the optical sensor here that detects your bobbin thread. And I have a regular a threaded bobbin in here with the string hanging out. Close the door so you can pull on it. And when you pull on the thread, you will see alternately, no particular pattern there. When you're moving the thread, those signal A and signal B turn green. That shows you that this sensor, through the little hole in the bobbin case, is functioning as it should. Next test will be our upper thread sensor, and that works off, there's a take-up spring in here that takes up the slack between the take-up arm there, and that's where there's a small optical sensor mounted on that, and you can thread the machine, but I just run thread up in here and just give it a little pull, and you can feel it going against the spring that triggers the optical sensor for the upper thread. So there you know the upper thread sensor is working. Sorry for the shaky video here. I'm going to do this all in one take. I don't have a BSR foot here, but if you had the BSR foot at this time, you would put it on the machine and plug it in. And it will tell you if it is sensing that plug-in. Next, there's a sensor on the machine for your feet, and that's what the box is on the side of some of these feet that you put on the machine. Not all of them have it, but some do. And there's an optical sensor up in here. And what I'm doing right now is I have on the 3A auto buttonhole foot, and sliding that front and back will trigger the sensor. You can have the foot in the lower position, upper position's fine, but you can see those flashing alternately when I'm just moving this foot front or back. That shows you that the sensor that's mounted up in here, let me take this off here, is getting a signal from here, because there's a little part in there that spins. You can see it when I move this foot. So that optical sensor is detecting that, and everything's good. And last is a P-print. Without getting into the details here, there's a disc on the upper shaft of the machine, and that disc goes past an optical sensor and basically tells the machine what position the needle's in. And all you really need to do is rotate the machine and just make sure at one point or another that all of these would light at one time or another. That's so the computer in the machine knows what position your needle's in. So just by turning it, you can see those flashing, and that means that that optical sensor is working as it should. Hit escape again, turn your machine off, and when you turn it on again, you will be back in your regular sewing mode or embroidery mode if you have the embroidery module hooked up. So that's a way to test all your buttons, your knobs, your speed pedal you have, and that will tell you if you have a problem anywhere, and it will give you some good information to give your dealer should you need to go get your machine fixed. Thanks for watching. I sell Berninas on eBay under the username Bush Video, BUSHVIDEO. You can contact me through this video, or you will see my email address posted in the description below on this video. Thanks for watching.